Hey Links family, so great to be able to connect with you. Thank you so much for joining with us again for this month's E-Link. Really looking forward to being able to share with you some of the amazing things that God has been doing. We have digitally been able to do healthcare training in Zambia, which has been absolutely fantastic. We've been able to do micro-enterprise training for partners in Colombia, and I'm so excited to be able to tell you that we raised nearly £20,000 through our summer appeal for healthcare and to work into the work that our partners do all over the world in the area of healthcare, whether that is training the trainers to go out and make a difference, or in the area of agricultural projects, water projects, pit latrines, all of those amazing things that our partners do. Because of your generosity, because of you joining with us to inject hope, to make a difference, we are seeing lives change and communities transform. None of it would be possible if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for joining with us. We really cannot tell you how much we appreciate it and how much of a joy it is to know that we are in this together. We are making a difference together. So I just want to share a little bit with you today. I really felt God lay on my heart. I was talking to somebody the other day and just saying, how are you doing at the moment? And they said, it's heavy going. It's heavy going. And that phrase really kind of grabbed my attention, made me think, yeah, it's heavy. I don't think we were supposed to expect it to be light. Jesus tells us that we are to pick up our cross and follow him. It was an incredibly challenging word that he gave to his disciples, and really struck me the moment when Jesus is carrying his cross, that crescendo moment in the life of Jesus and his ministry, where he falls on the way to Golgotha, the place of the skull, on the way to the place that he's going to be crucified. He falls down under the weight and the burden of this cross that he would have carried. The vertical beam of the cross would have been an incredible weight and a difficult burden to carry for anybody, let alone somebody that had been beaten and scourged to within a breath of losing their life. Jesus carries this immense burden, and under the weight of it he falls down. And it says in Matthew 27 verse 32, it says, as they were going out, a man from Cyrene named Simon was found, and they forced him to carry the cross. I don't know about you, but I just find that image profound and challenging on so many levels. First of all, that the God of all creation, the maker of heaven and earth, would acquiesce and lower himself to the point of actually needing somebody to come alongside him and to help him. And here comes this man who I'm sure, as a bystander there during the Feast of Passover, thought he was an innocent guy being forced to carry the cross of a guilty man. Not knowing all of the backstory, I'm sure that was what was going on in Simon's head. And yet we know the reality is that here was a man who, by all intents and purposes, was guilty, being forced to carry the cross of an innocent man who never did anything wrong. We don't know whether or not Simon carried that by himself, or whether Jesus and Simon carried that together. If they carried it together, it's an incredible image as well, because it's an image of like two oxen carrying a plough. And here they are. In fact, the rabbis talked about the living out of the law as being like carrying a yoke, which is what would be put on the oxen. And here is Jesus himself with a man alongside him, together ploughing out the obedience of what Jesus' Father has called him to do. And I don't know if you realise this, but although God is all-powerful and can do anything that he wants to do, he calls you and I to join him as partners in the mission. He calls you and I to come alongside him to carry the cross. And that doesn't mean it's going to be easy. It was not easy. I'm sure that at the end of the day, Simon had cuts and bruises and aches and pains and strains in his muscles. I am sure that it was a painful and traumatic experience. And yet it's gone down in history as Simon being the one that stood alongside Jesus in his greatest hour of need. I've been so struck by the courage of the church in Afghanistan, so impacted by seeing the way that they have been willing to stand in the face of tyranny and say, we're not backing down. I had this quote from a ministry that we know well. They said this: at the moment we are praying desperately for friends on the ground in the house church movement in Afghanistan, where the Taliban are coming after all Christians. Their courage is immense. Most expect to meet Jesus face to face in the next 2 weeks. You know, this is such a powerful reminder right now of what matters and making every opportunity count for eternity. I don't know about you, but it challenges me to my core, and I believe that Jesus calls us into that place where we pick up our cross, where we're willing to go, where we're willing to step up to the plate even when it's heavy. Right now in the UK, we're facing a bit of a crisis, as far as crises go in the UK, of a fuel shortage. And if you live in the UK, you'll know it's very difficult to get any petrol from any of the petrol stations. Long queues on the motorway the other day when I was on the motorway. Signs everywhere saying no fuel for the whole of the M25 motorway, for instance. And this has been caused because of a lack of heavy good vehicle drivers. So there's just a lack of people that are able to drive these vehicles that carry the fuel to the different to the different petrol stations. I just felt God say again, there is a lack of heavy good vehicle believers. There is a lack of people who are willing to say, I'll carry it. I will carry that heaviness. I will go into those places. I will come with you with the full assurance and the promise. Jesus said that his burden is light, because when we come alongside him, we have the full weight and strength of heaven behind us to help carry those loads. So as we step into this next season, into this next month, I want to encourage you. Will you come alongside Jesus? Will you help carry the cross? Will you help carry the mission and the movement of Jesus into the earth until we see this place looking just like heaven? Will you continue to join with us? We are in this together to confront poverty, to create potential, and to connect people all around the world. None of it would be possible if it wasn't for you. So once again, thank you so much. God bless you. We look forward to seeing you again soon.